This demo presents the features of the IBARM diagramming facilities. I'm first going to demonstrate some of the features of the diagramming facility itself, and then I'm going to show you some examples of some of the IBARM diagrams. The IBARM diagrams are drawn dynamically by the tool, so the information in this example here, this relationship diagram, the information comes directly from the IBARM repository and is drawn dynamically when requested by the user. The diagramming toolbar contains a number of features. On the diagram, the user can zoom out on the diagram, can zoom back in on the diagram. The user can print the diagram, save the diagram in a number of different formats. Some of the popular formats here are PDF, as well as SVG. SVG is very useful because you can save the diagram in SVG format, then the SVG can be imported into Visio, and analysis or design changes can be made there and then can be saved into your design documents. The diagrams can be searched, so a search criteria can be entered and then search. We'll show you the locations on the diagram where the search criteria was found. The objects on the diagrams are hyperlinked. So if I click on, for example, this database table here, if I click on any object on the diagram, I will be taken to the default page, which is typically the relationship page for that object. In addition, we can, instead of simply clicking on the hyperlink, we can right-click on the hyperlink and get a menu of the views that are available for that object. So instead of going to the relationship page for this database table, I could go to the database summary page and jump directly there. So that's a nice feature to allow you to jump to the page that you're really interested in on a particular object. The diagrams can be modified so that each of the objects has a little X in the upper right corner. You can click on the X to remove that object. If you click and hold on the lower right corner of the object, you can move the objects around the page. And these changes are temporary. So what you might want to do is make a change to a diagram and then save it or print it in that particular format. The next time you come back to this page, it will be in its original format, and that can also be done through the reload option on the toolbar. The help capability here provides information about the diagram itself, so what is contained in the diagram, how to use the diagram, some hints and tips about the specific diagram, and then further down we have information about the diagramming features themselves. So the hyperlinking, the zoom in, zoom out, searching, saving. Further down, you'll see the right-click capability is explained further down here. So that's all available in the help for each diagram. Okay, so let's start looking at some examples, specific examples of diagrams available within IBARM. As I mentioned earlier, this example is the relationship diagram, which presents the immediate relationships between the object, in this case a program, and other objects. So it shows the JCL job that executes the program. It also shows what this program accesses. So we can see the tables, the columns, the files that are accessed by this program. The next diagram is called the flowchart diagram, and the flowchart shows the internal structure of this program. So it shows the calling structure of the internal paragraphs, and then displays it in a diagram format. Sometimes you'll find that there may be extraneous information in the diagrams. For example, this paragraph here, a bend routine, seems to be called by many other paragraphs. So to simplify the diagram, what we could do is remove that from the diagram, and it makes the diagram a little easier to read, a little more understandable, and then that format could be saved or printed. I'm going to move on to another program and another diagram that's called the call tree diagram. Now this diagram is huge, so I'm just going to center this diagram, and then you can get an appreciation for the complexity of some of the programs that can be handled here within IBARM. Here we can see that the program is called by a load module, by procs, by a couple of JCL jobs. So that's the upstream impacts, we call them. Downstream, we can see that this program calls other programs, and they call other programs, and so on. And just you can get a sense here of the overall complexity of the calling structure of this program. And if I zoom out, I'm going to zoom out here a couple of times so we can get an appreciation of the overall complexity and structure of this program and its calling structure. And again, if we look at the help, we can see some of the capabilities, how to use this diagram. The call tree diagram can be used to determine extended impact analysis, upstream impacts of the change, so who is calling the program, downstream impacts, who is called by this program, and who is called in the calling structure that could be potentially impacted by a change, and really the overall complexity of the calling structure. So those are some of the ways that this diagram can be used. All right, let's move on to some data diagrams. And I'm going to show you here a database schema. And this is an Oracle database schema. And I'm going to show you the physical data model diagram for this, this Oracle database schema. And what it shows is the tables and the relations between the tables. And the relations are based on primary key, foreign key relations. Now, not all the tables have those kind of relations, but a lot of them do. So we can see a number of tables related to this table, COVR, or to another table here. This is the risk table. And if I do a right click on the risk table, I bring up the menu for the views available for the table. And if I click on the model diagram, I can now see the physical data model at the table level. And at this level, IBARM displays the tables, the columns, the primary keys, the foreign keys, as well as those tables that are related to the risk table via primary key, foreign key relationships. Moving over to a Java example, I'm going to select here a Java package which contains a number of Java classes. So I'm going to select one of the Java classes here. And one of the diagrams available for Java is one called the inheritance or the class inheritance diagram. And here we can see the inheritance between the classes. So here the client agent service class inherits from the base service class, which inherits from the service locator class. So the IBARM diagrams, those are just a few of the examples of the IBARM diagrams, and these diagrams provide insight into the internal structure of components, into the immediate relationships to other components, and into extended impacts to other components, be they upstream or downstream from the selected component. These diagrams are extremely valuable in analyzing changes to application systems.